Today's video is all about exposing the enemy within, the Hippocrats, aka the Democrats. And you're going to love this because I've got Jasmine Crockett getting absolutely drilled by an allied network host about her lie that she named Epstein connected to Lee Zeldin when it wasn't the same Epstein. She tripled down. Wait till you hear this. As well as seditious six ringleader Mark Kelly, actually, after this National Guardsman tragedy, actually tripling down himself. I've got huge fraud in Tampon Tim's, Minnesota, and a newly resurfaced Biden video from bygone days where everybody eviscerated him for lying. The guy hasn't told the truth his entire career. But first, check this out.
Just in, we have a Fox News alert from Brooke Taylor. You won't believe this. DHS is confirming that an Afghan national was arrested Tuesday after posting a video of himself on TikTok indicating he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area. Mohammed Dawood Al-Okazai is charged at the state level with making a terroristic threat. According to DHS, listen to this. He came to the United States as part of Operation Allies Welcome.
How many more times is it going to take, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Americans? How many more times are we going to see innocent Americans harmed, injured by the people that this enemy within, the Democratic regime, allowed into our country, literally rolled out the red carpet? And when we say anything about why are you doing this, we ask any questions, this is how we get treated. I want to share this clip from fake news network CNN's fake tapper, calling anybody a racist who dared question this back in 2021 when Biden and Kamala first launched this program to let all of these people into our country. Watch this.
There are a number of other voices in the Republican Party that are already, whether on television or on tweets or whatever, starting to demonize Afghan immigrants, starting to talk about this is Biden's plan to put more Muslims in the country, starting to insinuate that these are bad people, they're terrorists, et cetera, really rank bigotry.
Well, it turns out that Trump was right. We were all right to ask questions. So it wasn't rank bigotry, fake tapper. This is called preventing our nation from denying and deviating from the actual law. You see, here's the difference, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Americans. We don't mind immigrants. We love immigrants, legal immigrants who go through the proper, as Tom Homan, the borders are, has said very loud and clear, go through the proper points of entry, go through the proper systems and processes. We have no problem. Welcome to our country. Even the DHS, Secretary Kristi Noem, has said, if you deport yourself, we'll give you another opportunity. We just want you to come in through the legal measures and procedures. Why is it so hard for the Democrats to understand that there's this thing called the Constitution, called the law, and you have to abide by it? Can we please make crime illegal again? It doesn't make any sense to me. If you can make sense of it, let me know in the comments down below. Listen to this. You think their tune has changed? Watch.
When I heard the secretary say that they're going to pause immigration from third world countries, I mean, I take that as a message that they don't want brown people coming to the United States.
Always the race card, always identity politics. I want you to really think about this, everybody. Whenever the Democrats go anywhere, do an interview, a press conference, go on these ridiculous Hippocrat woke media networks, whenever they show their faces in public, they never, ever once make you feel good about America, make you feel love and pride about America. They never talk about how much they love America or how much they like America. They never talk about policy, strategy, solutions. They never push anything Democrat. Every single time it's attacking Trump. That should tell you everything. Speaking of identity politics, speaking of pulling the race card, here's Crockett right here, a stumbling, stuttering mess, actually digging herself deeper in the lie that she told about Lee Zeldin. Watch.
Congresswoman, it wouldn't be a conversation with us if I didn't quickly put you on the spot on something. You made a little bit of news last week when you mistakenly accused Lee Zeldin and other Republicans
I didn't mistakenly
money from Jeffrey Epstein, but it was a different Jeffrey Epstein according to the financial records. Do you want to? I don't want to give you the opportunity to amend that. And
I have no amendments. When I was on the floor, for those that don't know how it works, basically they decided to bring this privilege motion up, and they decided that they wanted to kick Stacey off of her committees because Stacey had received Stacey Plaskett because she had received a donation from Jeffrey Epstein. I had maybe 20 minutes. We researched the FEC, and because I like to speak with specificity, that's kind of what comes with being an attorney. I made clear that there was a Jeffrey Epstein. They knew on the other side that I did not have time to actually pull up and actually research, especially since that particular one that Lee Zeldin got up in an uproar about was specifically out of the New York area. We know that he was out of that area. So, and this obviously was not done post Jeffrey Epstein's life. So I made sure that I said a Jeffrey Epstein.
But you were trying to insinuate that it was the
I absolutely was insinuating that it could be possible. That is true. But the point is, I never said that it was that specific one because I did not have the adequate time to do it. And so the Jeffrey Epstein has stepped forward, and that's not like, you know, a normal name. And I think that what would have been problematic is if I would have claimed that, say, that happened and it legitimately never happened. So ultimately, he cleared the record. I have not researched further. I've not talked to this doctor.
But you can agree that Lee Zeldin didn't receive money.
I can agree that Lee Zeldin has said that he's not received money from the Jeffrey Epstein. Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. There isn't another specimen walking the earth that possesses this amount of vile excrement coming out of the pores of their body. Jasmine Ghetto Crockett, you are such utter trash. I don't care if this video gets deleted or if I get penalized. You are the garbage of this country. It is a mockery to the United States of America that you are somehow disgracing and polluting the halls of our great Congress. It's just so sad and tragic. Lee Zeldin responds saying in her latest defense of the indefensible. First of all, she says, I didn't have enough time to do research. We only had 20 minutes. So why would you put it out there? You're just proving you're an absolute low IQ moron. You're proving Trump right. Are you kidding me? Why would you, if you didn't have adequate, you're proving your incompetence. You're proving you're a DEI hire, for crying out loud. I didn't have time. I couldn't do research. We only had 20 minutes. I was put on the spot. And, you know, maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but I was very clear. Instead of saying, you know what, my bad, she would have gained so many political points if she just would have said, you know what, my bad. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I didn't, you know, I should have probably waited on that. I'm going to move on. I'll apologize to Lee Zeldin. That would have made you human, Ghetto Crockett. But you're not human, right? Lee Zeldin responds by saying in her latest defense of the indefensible, genius Jasmine Crockett, JD, now claims the donation I received from Dr. Jeffrey Epstein was before the other Jeffrey Epstein died. That is a lie, and she knows it. Hoping there would be no pushback from the TV host, the FEC record she has cited as her source shows the date of the donation I received as well after the other Jeffrey Epstein was dead. Also note that at the end she says, quote, I can agree that Lee Zeldin has said that he didn't receive money from the Jeffrey Epstein, implying that her lie could still be true, even though it's obviously not, even though she previously conceded that I cleared the record. And even though the record she has referenced herself as her source says the donation I received was from a physician who donated to me after the other Jeffrey Epstein was dead. Ratchet Ghetto Crockett. Shame should shower upon you on the daily. I can't wait to get your comments on this. Okay, next up, we have the Seditious Six. Speaking of digging your holes even deeper, this should make everybody livid, but Senator Mark Kelly, even Kristen Welker from Meet the Press on NBC can't believe what he's saying right now. Check out this clip as he goes even further to say that a military rebellion must happen. I don't know how this guy isn't behind bars. Watch.
You can certainly go to the judge, advocate generals, the lawyers, and have a discussion about it. If you don't have time, you just say simply, I'm not going to do that. That's against the law.
It puts a lot of burden on the troops to make a decision in real time.
It puts a tremendous amount of burden on officers in the military, but that is their responsibility.
If you think that Mark Kelly should experience court-martial proceedings, let me know in the comments down below. There is no way in a billion years that if this was a Democrat president doing this, that he would be saying this. This man is a shame. He is a disgrace. to the armed forces. He is a disgrace to the United States of a country. There is not one military expert, one veteran that I hold in esteem. As a matter of fact, I would say even the ones that I don't even know that well or hold in esteem are saying this is going way too far. Even a lot of Democrats are saying, dude, you're just way out of line. You shouldn't be saying that. You shouldn't be calling for military personnel. But the thing about Mark Kelly is he's so irrelevant. And I know exactly why, Mark, you're doing this. You finally got yourself a little bit of attention. You see, Democrats want attention because attention, they think, leads them to an ability to retain and gain more power. He saw what's happening with Crockett saying insane, absolute garbage things. He sees what happens with McIver and Ayanna Pressley and Murphy and all these ridiculous hypocrites, Schumer, Hakeem. He's like, I want some of that, so I'm going to do something controversial. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about the military. He doesn't care about the chain of command. He doesn't care about America. He wants the attention. He loves it, and he doesn't want to lose the spotlight. So now he's digging deeper, doubling and even tripling down. Shame on you. He doesn't care, no matter how soulless the methodologies of that attention was derived. Okay, speaking of frauds and disgraces to America, there has been a huge fraud alert in Minnesota. Somalia diaspora group with growing political power were largely responsible, and it all happened under Tim Walz's watch. They stole billions and billions of dollars. And listen to what Tim Walz has to say about this.
Dozens of people of East African descent have been charged, convicted, and sentenced for stealing more than $1 billion in taxpayer money from government programs during COVID. As you know, Governor, that is more than Minnesota spends each year to run its Department of Corrections. So I want to give you a chance to respond to this. Do you take responsibility for failing to stop this fraud in your state?
Well, certainly I take responsibility for putting people in jail. Governors don't get to just talk theoretically. We have to solve problems. And I will note, it's not just Somalis. Minnesota is a generous state. Minnesota is a prosperous state, a well-run state. We're AAA bond rated, but that attracts criminals. Those people are going to jail. We're doing everything we can. But to demonize an entire community on the actions of a few, it's lazy.
So you can tell that he's reading off of a cue card there, and he's absolutely 100% wrong when it comes to governors don't get to talk theoretically. We actually have to solve problems. So, we're doing a lot of things right. We have triple bond rate. That's all BS. Even his very own Minnesota Department of Human Services posted this on X saying Tim Walz is 100% responsible for massive fraud in Minnesota. And what does he have to say? He says it's not just the Somalias. We're diverse. He makes it all about identity politics and color. This story is just breaking, so stay tuned. The more that gets revealed and exposed about this, I will keep you in the loop. Okay, last but not least, I have a little treat for you. This is a video that came out, obviously, during Biden's first presidential run in the 80s. And it is so damning. This guy has never told a truth in his entire career, where he lied about his education. He lied about being top of his class, and watch the reaction from then pundits in that decade. Check this out.
Biden may have more explaining to do. The new questions stem from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
And I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
Joe Biden was victimized by the truth.
Bye-bye Biden. He may not know it yet, but I think this is going to be very difficult for him to recover.
Is Joe Biden dead meat, yes or no?
I think so.
Bob?
It's in terminal condition.
Terminal? Eleanor?
Yes, unless he comes in third in Iowa.
Morton.
Dying.
I say dead.
Once a liar, a crook, and a thief, always a liar, a crook, and a thief. Has there been any integrity at all that you can find in this Democrat Party? Was it Bill Clinton? I mean, he's been found out to lie. He's been on Epstein Island 26 times. He cheated on his wife. He committed adultery. Obama's sown more dissension, more racial division, I think, than any president in the history of the United States of America. Hillary Clinton, don't even get me started. My friends, I'm loving that this new media of the people, by the people, for the people like me, channels like myself, are exposing the truth, because you're not going to get this anywhere else. And so help me make this video go viral. Make common sense go viral. Tap the thumbs up. Share this with everybody you know. Watch all the way to the end. Watch more videos so you can help us. It helps us out immeasurably. Even if you're watching on your TV, you can still tap that thumbs up. I can't wait to hear your comments. By the way, let me know where you're joining me from, what city, state, country. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Just in case you missed them, tap my face right there to subscribe and follow. It's free. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.